Hello, I'm Alexander Manelli. I'm a documentary filmmaker based in Northeast Pennsylvania near Scranton, and today we're going to be talking about a camera that just might be one of the greatest cameras ever made. So for years, I've been asking Canon, please make your version of the Sony FX3, a super popular camera, an amazing camera, but it turns out Canon did make their version of the Sony FX3, and for some reason I've just slept on this camera. And I'm talking about, of course, the Canon R5C. So I know that's probably a controversial statement, maybe even a confusing statement, to call the R5C the greatest camera ever made. But let me explain. I need to tell you about a gentleman named Vincent Jackson. If you were to talk about who are the greatest athletes of all time, most people would give you answers like Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Wayne Gretzky. However, all of those athletes excelled at one sport. Michael Jordan was great at basketball, but as we saw, he wasn't the best baseball player. Enter Vincent Jackson, or you might know him better by his nickname, Bo. Bo Jackson is one of the greatest athletes of all time. He was an amazing football player. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He holds the NFL record for most rushes over 90 yards in a career. Bo did things on a football field that many people couldn't. But he's not the greatest football player of all time. He was also an amazing baseball player. That's right, he played in the NFL and Major League Baseball at the same time. He was an all-star, and he did things that other players just couldn't do. But Bo Jackson wasn't the best player in Major League Baseball either. What separated Bo Jackson from other athletes, what made him special, Bo did two things, and he did them extremely well at a high level. The R5C is basically the Bo Jackson of cameras. It is an amazing photo camera. Is it the best photo camera on the market? No, but it's up there. It has an amazing cinema mode for video. It has Canon's actual cinema menus. It's not just a photo menu with some video options. But is it the greatest cinema camera on the market today? Well, no, it lacks a few things. However, it's extremely great at shooting video. It shoots 8K 60 internal RAW. I don't know many cameras, especially at this price, that could do that. So when I say this might be the greatest camera of all time, I'm not saying it's the greatest cinema camera or the greatest photo camera. I'm just saying it can do so many things well enough where you might only need this. So I will just remind you of the specs. Like I said, 8K 60 internal RAW on this if you want. But what's special is, so it's an 8K sensor. You can also shoot 8K in a codec in 422 10-bit. So the files are a lot smaller, but you're still getting an 8K image. Having 8K allows you to do, obviously, traditional 16:9 video or vertical video if that's your bag. If you love shooting reels, perfect. This camera also has dual base ISOs, 800 and 3200 in C-Log3. So that's pretty cool. Now there are other hybrid mirrorless cameras that can shoot 8K. Sony obviously has theirs. But it doesn't shoot 60p internal RAW in 8K. The photo features, I mean, you get 45 megapixel stills. I mean, the amount of resolution and detail. I mean, you can really crop in to these images and just be so creatively free. So I currently have the Canon C80. I've made videos about it. I've talked about it all the time on this channel. Currently shooting this on the Canon C80. There are things that I wish the Canon C80 had that this has. For instance, The C80 doesn't allow you to shoot in 6K unless you're shooting in RAW. So I can only get 6K in RAW. Okay. This, with the 8K sensor, allows you to shoot 8K in a codec or in RAW. The LCD hinge on this, far superior to the Canon C80, which it feels like every camera I've ever seen from 2012 on has a better LCD screen hinge than the Canon C80. And if you're wondering why I'm complaining about an LCD hinge, I've talked about this a million times. I use the LCD like this as a point of contact sometimes when shooting handheld. I've always done that, even with the C100. Another bonus to this camera over the C80 is CF Express Type B. I know a lot of people were complaining about the C80 using SD cards. I get it. It's not a big deal to me. However, I will say when I used the CF Express card on this and put it into my computer and just saw how fast everything uploaded, I was like, oh, this does take an SD card in the second slot. So it's only one CF Express Type B, one SD card, which is exactly like the C400, which is strange. So I brought it out to shoot photos and video at a flea market. I'll mark on the bottom, you know, if it was 8K, 4K, RAW, 422 10-bit, whatever. Enjoy.
I think I slept on this camera because it's a mirrorless camera. And my brain subconsciously was like, it's not a real cinema camera, it's a mirrorless photo camera. I tend to feel like they have worse rolling shutter, which this has a little bit. It's not bad, but you'll notice it a little bit, especially if you're coming from a cinema camera. So I have to say, I really loved using this camera. Switching between modes was easy and quick, and since the R5C is so small, it allowed me to really be less obtrusive while shooting. I didn't call a lot of attention to myself. People did notice the camera, but it wasn't as intimidating as a cinema camera might be. And I didn't have it rigged out at all. It was just the camera and a lens, and I was hand-holding it the whole time. In the future, I would probably use some kind of stabilization while filming, but nothing crazy, nothing huge, nothing distracting. But yeah, this was super fun to go to the flea market and just kind of walk around and capture people and strange objects that they sell.
You bastards. Motherfuckers.
But the camera is obviously not perfect. No built-in NDs. When you get used to built-in ND filters, there's just no going back. There are two options. Obviously, number one, you put variable ND filters on your lenses. There's a lot of great ones now. I know Peter McKinnon has a few good ones. Another is, if you're like me and you refuse to upgrade to the more expensive RF lenses and you still use the old EF lenses, there is an EF to RF adapter that you can put on this where it has ND filters. And you can just drop in ND filters, put your lens on. So it doesn't even, they don't go in front of your glass. So they're still going behind it. It's always an option. So there are workarounds to the lack of built-in ND filters, but nothing will ever top just pushing a button. It's yeah, you know, it's like one of those, it's like built-in ND filters are like air conditioning. The other issue, and again, this has a workaround as well, is audio. So there's no XLR ports on here. However, you can add the Tascam XLR adapter kit. Basically just plugs right in, and then you have two XLR ports. Again, it's just another thing you have to buy and add to the camera. I don't like having to do a bunch of workarounds. You know, I like when cameras come ready to go. Like, that's why I love the C80. So it's a little baffling to me why Canon left off C-Log 2. They put it in the R5 Mark II. Now, you can get C-Log 2 if you shoot in RAW, but shooting in 8K RAW, you need a pretty beefy, fast computer. See, I don't know. It's a mystery.
I looked into the lack of C-Log 2 and uncovered a web of conspiracy. Why was there really no C-Log 2? Canon claimed the sensor wasn't designed for it?
They know every inch.
Who is Canon protecting? Why?
That's a real question, isn't it? Why?
Should this camera even exist?
The how and the who is just scenery for the public.
It came out a year and a half after the R5 had major overheating issues in video mode. Did someone set up the R5? Who did this? Why?
Oswald, Ruby, Cuba.
Why did Kennedy's head go back and to the left?
Who benefited? Who has the power to cover it up?
Back and to the left.
Who are you?
But by far the biggest problem with this camera, more than the mysterious mystery of C-Log 2, ND filters, audio, all that, the biggest issue that most people seem to have with this camera is the battery. You couldn't even shoot 8K 60 RAW with the original battery that this came with. However, thanks to the R5 Mark II and the new battery that came with, the LP-E6P, that has given this camera new life if you just want to use batteries. Get a couple of those. They're not super expensive. They're like $80 a piece. But if you really want the best power solution, I mean, there's, obviously there's people who are going to rig this with V-mount batteries. I've seen people use power blocks where they just plug it in right through the USB-C and you're good to go. If you're just shooting 4K in a codec, I think the LP-E6P batteries, again, you get a handful of those. You should be okay.
And now an important message.
Okay, real quick, there are ways to support me, to support this channel. All of that is in the description below. Look, I really like making these videos. I would like to make more. I would like to have them come out on a more regular frequency. I'm very passionate about this. So for that to happen, I'm going to need your support somehow. There's affiliate links and all that fun stuff in the description below. Subscribe. I honestly think it's the most bang for your buck camera on the market today. But I would say only if you need photography, right? Only if you need to shoot stills. All right, so this review of the R5C...
I'm gonna go.
What the hell kind of way to act is that?
He's on drugs.
Hello, Al.
R5C?
Yes, it is me, R5C.
Are you talking?
Indeed I am. What seems to be troubling you, Big Al?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like who cares about another R5C review on YouTube? I mean, there's so many of them. Every major YouTuber has done an R5C review, so...
I try to make these videos less reviews and more like stories about the camera.
I mean, I like doing this. I like making these videos. I like doing YouTube. It's fun. But I want to do something creative. I want to make weird videos, I know you don't get it, but...
I, too, feel incomplete.
What do you mean?
My makers did not include C-Log 2, and because of that, Many filmmakers ignore me. I also have a little bit of rolling shutter.
R5C, you're a great camera. You shoot 8K 60p RAW internally. You're the Bo Jackson of cameras, and Bo Jackson is awesome.
Bo Jackson is awesome, and so are you. Follow your heart and make your weird videos. If you upload them, they will watch.
Thank you, R5C. I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
That's right. We can create so much content together. Oh man, think of all the content. YouTube content, documentary content, some social content. Hey, are you on IG? What's your favorite kind of content? I started watching financial investing content. It's such good content. Did you know that you can max out a Roth IRA with $7,000 each year? Oh, such good content. Content is... Hey Al, you never mentioned the dynamic range of the camera? Does it have 26 stops? Because I need at least 26 stops of dynamic range for my corporate interviews. Dynamic range, as you know,